Also, actually supplementing, I was looking at the video and we look at the aspect of human rights. We have issues of human rights complaints in this country, especially those that are enforcing the law. So I would interest the IGP and the minister that as we go into this process, that most of us are critically ready because we need to be defended, the vote to be defended. And some of us who subscribe to the party, we need the NRM government deliver to the best. So the issue of human rights, if these police officers were properly trained in the human rights, that even they surrendered, but they went ahead to shoot. So that aspect and that component should be really entrenched much, and we should put interest in it so that we can protect the rights, because it's our duty and cardinal role. So as Parliament, and these good members of defense under the leadership of the chair, I'm sure we shall be able to stand to make sure that that area is facilitated for the credible process that we are soon approaching.
Thank you, Honourable Brandon. Certainly, it cannot be falling outside that. Otherwise, we may put a cart before the horse. I'm now going to use my discretion and invite police, which is vote 134, to take us through and address specific requirements from Parliament, also address specific concerns that members of Parliament. Yes, and IGP Byakagaba, I think this is your first time here. Since we approved you.
Okay. I know where to proceed. By this time, I was raising a question of the committee being unprepared. We waited for your reports so that we could read them and we have a meaningful interaction. But they are just being distributed here while we are seated, Mr. Chairman.
They were submitted to us before.
This one.
Huh?
I'm talking of the police.
It was the soft copy was posted.
Soft copy?
Yes, on electronic.
Thank you, honorable members of the committee. As it has been observed by the chair that this is my maiden appearance as Inspector General of Police, but not as a police officer. I have been around for quite some time. But I'm really privileged to be given this opportunity to represent my entity, to present the budget framework paper to you. But allow me to respond to the issues raised by the honorable members. And I think one of the areas mentioned is the most recent loss of lives of 6 people. And I'll begin by saying that loss of life of even a single individual is regrettable. And I would like it to be put on record that the police cannot be the entity to foster the loss of lives. We clearly know our duties and responsibilities, that we are there to protect life and property. And if any life is to be lost, it should happen also within the confines of the law, of the laws, and following standard operating procedures and regulations. So allow me, Honorable Chair and members, I know this is a very heavy issue, and I may not exactly give you all the details about this particular incident, but I want to assure you members through the chair that we take it seriously, and as my minister has said, let us follow procedures even as we fight for the rights of those who have died, but also including preserving the rights of those who have killed. And I think that's the bottom line. And what am I saying here? I'm saying that we are following processes and procedures although the concern is how long is this going to take, it's going to take some bit of time, but action is going to be taken within the confines of the law, and that's what I want to promise. For the details, I have also seen the recordings and the people talking, but still, I think it even comes from here, that you just don't judge situations, you don't judge people until you have got the real gist of the circumstances. The media has brought out what was seen, what was purportedly seen, but the police must bring out what exactly happened. And I think I would like to request, Chair, through you, Chair, that I know what happened really raises a lot of concern. We are talking about loss of lives here. But allow me to repeat it again. We are taking it as seriously as it should be, and at an opportune time, we shall be able to account to this committee, to the people of Uganda, because we are tasked by the people of Uganda to carry out what we do carry out. With your permission, allow me to generally respond to that. And I think the reason is simple. Just out of what I've said, because even my colleagues who are here, none of them was directly there. It calls for serious investigation and assessment to arrive at a decision that must remain legal and defendable. The same applies to, first of all, my apologies to Honorable Sekikubo. I'm aware of what transpired in Rwemuyaga, and the same is being subjected to a neutral assessment so that we don't hurt any individual in the process. And at an opportune time, I should be able to give a response and act accordingly, also being guided by protocols and procedures. I may not be able to give exactly what is going to happen, but I can promise and confirm that action will be taken where it is required. There was also the other issue raised by Honorable Numbers, I think, about police officers escorting goons. I think still our efforts are still work in progress. Now, at this juncture as Inspector General Police, it's very difficult for me now to exactly give the pretty details of what happened around that incident, because even for me, I'm just getting that complaint, and I promise that we are going to follow it up thoroughly. But the issue you raise is, I think it's not only in your area, it could be countrywide, but at times, because the police moves with the force, most of these activities are carried out by court brokers, given permission by court. But when it is done without, then there is a problem which we must handle. And for me, that's the bottom line. And we are ready and prepared to correct where we get mistakes, but equally seriously ready to protect the people of Uganda. And we have that commitment. I can really confidently say this. Along the way, there will be mistakes. But what is important is how do you handle those mistakes? And that's why I want to assure you that the systems and procedures and processes of handling those issues are in place And we shall continue to improve on even those systems. I beg that where we falter, we work around these things together, because the police is ours. The police is to help us, to help this country, to enable this country to move forward. As we realize it as an institution, that we have a very cardinal duty. And if we don't perform it, you cannot talk of development. Because if you lack peace and security, then the aspirations, all those visions, 2040, the PDM and all of that, we are alive to that fact, and we shall work towards that to ensure that this country continues to move forward.
Ugandans expect much from you. Then you must rein in on those ones who may want to take you for granted, who may feel they are connected. You must rein in on them. And I think that's why the president appointed you, and we're all happy with your professionalism and your tested officer. Look, signs can show, Mr. Chairman, last time when we had the police, someone had put on the file from a police statement, the office of the deputy IGP. And we asked, is this your own personal report, or it is for the police? But you've escaped it. The file is reading Uganda police. Unlike your predecessor who had assumed, not your predecessor exactly, but someone down there who had wanted to have a higher grasp of the force. So, Mr. Chairman, we entreat you, we shall be here to support you. I was actually very mad about the operations budget. But you must rein in on them. They will take you for granted if you give them way. You must stand, you must be the first of the Uganda police, so that wherever we run, when things happen, we know there is somebody in charge who will address this crisis to the people of Uganda.
Thank you.